Hello. Well, we're back again. I've got another box in the mail. This is for a game that I've been actually waiting a long time for. There was some huge delays because of the shipping crisis during COVID and because of some redesigns that happened with the actual packaging and the game itself. So I've received this from Atherworks again in Australia, and the box is a little banged up. But I'm pretty sure everything will be fine because, as you can see, it's been pretty nicely packed. Wow. Well, it has been packed nicely on one end. So, here it is. And this game is Namiji from Funforge Games. So, let me just get this out of the way. So yeah, I think, how long has it been? I think I backed this game 2 years ago. It's from Funforge Games. These are the guys that made this game Tokaido, which is in mechanics very, very similar to the way Namiji goes. Tokaido, the whole point of the game is to earn points by having the most beautiful scenic walk down this historic Japanese trail in feudal Japan. This is similar, but the idea is that you're on a fishing boat and you're going around the fishing waters around Japan in the same time period, pursuing fish and beauty. So it's a very fun sort of competitive game. I think I've played Namiji a few times and I really quite liked it. Artwork wise, it's gorgeous. Now this is the Kickstarter edition, so it comes with plastic boats. And extra, I think it comes with like 5 extra plastic boats over the retail edition. The box is bigger. They had a optional buy for lots of wooden tokens instead of the cardboard ones, but I decided to leave it out. So this is just the Kickstarter edition of the game without any extras. The box got redesigned a bit. I actually thought it was going to be much thicker, which is fine. I quite like this. It's wider than a normal box, and it's quite thin. But I really love this artwork. It's what do you call it? And it's you can't quite see. The other you might be able to see the shine now. It's this is raised and glossy. What do they call that? I forget the name. And just your normal, millimeter thick cardboard. All right, it looks like everything has been sealed in plastic here. So here's all your punch boards, your rule book, a little art book, and the game board itself. And underneath that, we've got the player boards for each of the 10 different boats that you can choose. Now, there's no difference in gameplay, but you just have a little picture of your boat, and these are your baskets on your boat where you collect the various fish that you catch. Here's a nice little bag. I think that's a Kickstarter exclusive item. And then these little plastic origami boats that also serve a purpose in the game. These are wooden. That's nice. Tokens, another upgrade. And these little plastic, I forget what these things are, but there's some sort of turn monitoring thing. And what else have we got? So nice packaging. Like everything has its own little sealed area. And is this taped, or can I just pull it off? There's tape there. Good old trusty tape. Can't go wrong with a bit of tape. Always holds things together. Keeps them from coming undone in transit. And then you have to get rid of it at some point. Alright, so what do we got here? I think this might be like a little bit of an expansion. It's a little mini board. Gosh, it's been so long since I ordered this game, I don't remember much of anything. But you got this little whirlpool. That's cool. Another one of these little bags, but this one has this fishing hook token on it. And then punch board with lots of little shrimp and sea urchins and eels and things. And some more cards. So that's all very exciting. Aquamarine. Rainbow fish. So it's this might be more of the Kickstarter exclusive extra stuff. An explanation. I had pictures of all the boats. Dun, dun, dun. Now this is like one of the big bonuses of getting a Kickstarter is these gorgeous painted mini boat minis, and each boat has its own little theme. So that one has, like, you can see, it's got an octopus on the what do you call it? The masthead? No, I don't know. And this one has all sorts of cool little things. So just like these sort of cartoony, traditional fishing boat looking things. Look at that guy, it's got a weird oni creature sitting in a pot on the front. And this one's got tentacles coming out of the little shack. What else have we got? This one's pretty. They're all really gorgeous. What's this green one? Oops. Am I holding these in the right spot? Not really. This one's got pigs. I love that. Can you see it? Focus. There we go. So this one's got little pigs on it. That's just adorable. Adorable. Stay in focus. Why would you think that people want to look at my thumbnails? Here's one. It's got like that big-nosed mask on it. So that's awesome. I'm real excited to give this game a go. It's if it's like Tokaido, it's actually very sort of peaceful. It is competitive because when you achieve things in the game, when you collect things in the game, you're often preventing other people from getting those resources, which means as part of the strategy, you can choose to do a strategy where you're preventing the other players from getting stuff rather than a strategy of just trying to get your own thing. So let's have a look at this board, because I believe it's actually quite a large game board. There it is. It's always tricky. You always want to try and get this plastic off without doing any damage. There we go. Game boards always seem really tough, but they've got corners on them and they're made out of cardboard, which is paper. So if you're not careful, you can really damage them. Alright, so this is the rule book. That's the basic rule book. One thing you're doing is you collect these sort of cards that represent vistas that you might see on your fishing trip, and you get points for collecting all the cards. And some vistas are more difficult than others to collect. And here's a nice, beautiful art book that shows you all of the different boats and fish and villages. Here's a punch board with all of the shrimp and crabs, and here's some of those collectible tokens that help you to I think you get them once you collect those vistas. I'm not sure. More of those. And here's the game board. And I've always found this game board so interesting because it's so minimal in its design. Like, it's got a huge amount of negative space. The Tokaido game board is the same. And this thing is like 4 times the size of some game boards. It's huge. Look at that. That is a big game board. And yeah, so you just move along these tracks in a big circle, go from place to place. In each place you can collect, you can stop and get some fish and sort of fill up your... So the way they play the game, you can go really fast around, you can go big distances and try and collect the high value things first. Or you can take your time and go one after the other. But you can never go someplace that's occupied. As you can see, some places only have 1 spot. Some places have 2 spots. So if you are too slow, you might not be able to go to a location on your turn, and you'll have to skip it over, which can really hinder your progress. And that's most of Namiji. We'll just have a quick look at these game boards. And some people complained. They said, "Oh, it's too much negative space. There's not a lot of detail on these." But personally, I disagree. I think that where there's detail, it's very pretty. All the information that you need for playing the game is there. So that boat, and then on the other side, you've got a different boat. So you can never play like certain boats at the same time. You can't have that boat at the same time as you have that boat. So you can't do the pig boat and the octopus boat, which is a shame, but I mean, you're never going to play with more than 5 players anyway. So that's okay. And those are really nice. And if we can, we'll have a quick look at some of these cards. So these are the cards that represent a lot of the things that you're collecting on your journey. Oh, and these have sharp corners. So that, as you'll notice, that's very square corners. They haven't rounded them. It's actually there's an interesting choice for the card quality. So they've got linen finish, but you can see they've got the punch marks as well, and those sharp corners can be like dolphins. So these are a progression of numbers. So you have to be very careful with those unrounded corners. It's very easy to damage the cards if you drop them or shuffle them too much. So these might need to be put into sleeves depending on how much I'm going to play this game. And now these are cards as you would normally expect. So I'm not sure what those ones are about. Like as I said, I've forgotten a lot of the details of this game. I'm not sure if those are for the retail edition or not. But these cards, as you can see, have the rounded corners. They're a little bit thicker. So much more like the normal quality that you would expect. And again, there's like equipment that you can collect to help you on your way, and food you can collect. Like some places are famous for particular foods. And here's like achievements, and I love this artwork. It's just gorgeous. All right, so that is the Kickstarter edition of Namiji. I'm pretty sure the retail edition will be out soon enough, and it's a gorgeous game. I'm not sure if the Kickstarter edition will be available, but it's worth keeping an eye out for. But I mean, the main thing about the game is the game itself. So if you like this kind of gorgeous artwork and the concept of the game, definitely worth having a look at. And there you go. Hope you've enjoyed. So if you like this video, please feel free to subscribe, hit the notifications button. Hopefully we'll get a chance to play this game and do a review for it on our podcast, Hot Game Magnet. You can find us on our website, hotgamemagnet.com, or we'll also usually always put our podcast posts up on our Facebook Hot Game Magnet page and Instagram. All right, well, also feel free to put any comments below if you'd like to say anything, or if something I didn't have a close enough look at you'd like me to bring out and look more closely at. Until next time, thank you.